Hello again, and you join me on a midweek ride, early morning, about 7:15, leaving Coastal Road onto the A6 towards, well, it's Bolton the Sands. I'm rather surprised at this, but anyway, I've discovered this little area in the last couple of days, trying out the sound on the camera with not terrible lot of success. This one's the best I've got so far, but I'm still working on it. Now I'm going to take a left turn here into what's called Slime Lane, and that will lead us into a part of Bolton on the Sands that I'm completely unfamiliar with. Didn't even know this lot was here until I found it coming down from another ride. So I'm trying to find my way in the reverse on this one, and at the moment it's very quiet and it's lovely and cool, although it's a heat wave at the moment. This time in the morning it's cool, and my riding gear, I've slipped out the waterproof lining and certainly the winter lining that wasn't been in for ages. The waterproof lining proved to be a bit warm, so I've slipped that one out, and it's nice and cool. So we're just heading past the Church of England church on the left hand side, and we should see the tower of the Catholic Church very soon. That one on the left there is the Church of England, and just up ahead I think is, oh yes, it, you can see it now, that's the Catholic Church. And Bolton on the Sands is only a small place. We're going to take a right turn here. That should lead me up towards the route I've taken, but I made a mistake here. I should have gone left if I was going to do that, but I've taken a right, and that takes me into the Nook, as it's called, and this is still part of Bolton on the Sands, and it leads on, I now discovered, to look at the map, on Ancliffe Lane, and we shall see where that takes us, because it's a bit of a surprise. It kept going up and up and up, and I thought, oh, this is interesting. It's a lovely little lane, and it's hard to use. There's obviously horses come this way, and there's a bit some dropping. Thankfully I've got the dung guard fitted again, and yes, it's a lovely little lane. I want to get past these houses that have sprawled out from Bolton on the Sands itself. And we're heading uphill all the time, now into the open countryside, which is lovely. Very narrow. Fortunately nothing was coming towards me. I doubt whether anything really does. I mean, it's not, there are two ways back down into Bolton on the Sands from this upper road, and this is obviously the lesser used of the two, or three. There may be more, of course, I haven't discovered. So yes, I've muted the camera right down, and hopefully the slight amount of wind noise shouldn't be too obtrusive, but it does give a sort of an ambience to the ride, I think. So yeah, we're still heading up, and that little lane up the side there, that's a footpath, leads right up, and looks rather nice if fancied walking at any time. That leads to Westfield Hamlet, which we shall see as we return, because we're doing a circular here. When we get to the top here, I discovered just where it leads onto, and then I do a left hand turn, and then another left hand turn, and back down towards Bolton on the Sands. So stick with it. It's only 15 minutes. It's too hot to do anything else, surely. And I must say, having the windshield removed has just transformed this bike. It is so much nicer without it. It handles so much better. Either that, or I've just become a bit more used to riding a motorcycle after a 40-year layoff. It could be that, of course. No, I think it's the windshield, surely. Yes, still heading up. Some nice trees up this lane on the left. Now, do I go up there? No, I think that's the one that leads to Westfield Hamlet too. There's another one. I think that other one might just have been an entrance to a field. I might have misled you there. A few birds flying across. So here we are, we're just about to come up to this junction. And I think, oh, I know where I am now. So we're going to go off to the left. Now, where would that road gone to across if I'd gone straight across? Well, it's called Green Lane, but it's off my map. So that may be for another time. It'd probably lead me off to Lancaster somewhere. This is quite a familiar route to me, certainly, and to some of you. Just coming up to the junction now, and we're going to take a left-hand turn. In front of us is the Forest of Bowland, as it's called. And away we go. Starting to get a bit busy. I mean, this is Kellogg Lane, and it's quite heavily used at this time in the morning. Well, I say quite heavily used. You get a few vehicles on it. Now this is Westfield Hamlet on our left. That's the nice thing about this, looking at the map afterwards. You think, oh yes, that's what that's called then. Along here somewhere is Pump House Bungalow on the left hand side. So we'll keep an eye out for that one. Well, it's not that, that's not a bungalow, is it? me down there. My hedge is quite high, it's really quite difficult to see. This is right up close to the road. And we're coming up to the junction now, and there's a bus. And we're going to go left down Bolton Lane. A right hand turn would take you to Kellogg. And this is the first one I discovered. This was a few days ago. I thought, I wonder where this leads to. And eventually it took me down to Bolton le Sands. So I thought, oh yes. Now at this time in the morning it really is one way only, isn't it? Because vehicles are coming up from Bolton le Sands using this as a cut through, and I'm going in reverse direction. So I've got to be a bit wary of vehicles coming up towards me, and they seem to come in clutches. They obviously get nervous on their own. Have to have company. So I'm out for an early morning spin on the bicycle before it gets too warm. And over on the right hand side there's quite a heavily wooded area which is shown on the map. It's called Front Lodge, just over on the right hand side there. Now dropping down to Bolton le Sands proper. There's on the right hand side the tower of the Catholic Church. That was the little road we took, that one on the left there. Coming just down to here, take a left hand turn. Church of England Church on the right. And just heading back to the A6. And that's the end of our ride. I hope you've enjoyed a nice cool ride in the early morning sun. Thank you very much for joining me, and I hope the wind noise hasn't been too obtrusive and spoiled your enjoyment of it. Hopefully it will get better. Right. We're going to stop just about here.